Hello everybody, I am Talon. Welcome to Goal-Oriented Fighting. And I'm going to read from a script because it's nice. The purpose of this class is to teach fighters to use the skills that they have learned in a thoughtful manner towards a chosen goal. Throughout this class, I will show fighters different scenarios and ask them questions about their thoughts and goals to work with them to create strategies for these scenarios. So the point of this class is so that people walk up and they're like, how are you going to win the fight? And they're just like, I'm just going to hit them. And I'm like, it probably takes more than that. So, Squire Cornix, if you do not mind, join me. You have a sword of any kind?
I don't have anything.
Right,
I have
cool.
one weapon at this event.
There you go. Put those gloves on. I've got the gloves for you. So, the first example we will do is called broad goals. Broad goals are stuff like win. Most people want to win fights, yes? Like, you probably do want to participate, win the fight. Box over here won a tournament early, all right? Probably took him more than just swinging his sword at people to get the job done. So, these goals are a good place to start, but don't take anything into account, all right? So, for example, how would you go about winning a fight?
I would try to think about who I'm fighting.
All right, that's one thing. How would you physically go about it?
Point my sword at them, try and let them get a few swings in, see which direction I need to block before swinging first.
All right. So far in that stretch, we're just here. Single blue is the easiest thing to start with, right? So I point my sword at him. Cornix is going to swing his sword at me. Maybe I'll respond, maybe I won't. But at the moment, you're just going to wait and see what they do, right? It's a good place to start. So, how would you win a fight?
I would center myself in how I'm standing, how I'm holding my sword.
Those are particulars. How would you go about in the broadest way possible?
Hold my sword at them. I'm not good at broad.
That's fair.
Walk forward, swing my stick, don't cheat.
Simple goals.
Hit them, don't get hit.
Very simple goals, all right? Every new person, we start there. It's quite literally walk forward, swing your stick, don't cheat. Why is don't cheat the last one? Because it's really hard to cheat if you actually never make it to your opponent. All right? I can't slough Mongoose, and me and Mongoose never get in range. If me and Cornix are stuck back here, can't slough. If I don't actually swing my stick on that Cornix, I can't win, and then we just skip to don't cheat. So I have to actually try to swing the stick, right? Those are your broad goals. This includes things like, for the battle games, scoring a point. All right, this goal-oriented fighting is not just for this 1v1 tournament scenario. But I'm like, hey, I want to get to the orange side over there. I'm starting over here. I want to get to the orange side over there. All right, how would I go about doing that in a very broad sense? Well, I might want to walk forward. And then we hit a brick wall with the person being here. We have to make more of it. So now we get into specified goals. We do want to move forward to get to the other side. How do I want to move forward? Do I want to sprint? Do I want to run? Do I want to try to make my way around something? Right? These are things that we take into account into the fight. We start to build on those things. So we add modifiers to the goal. All right, I want to get past Cornix. Joe, how would you get past Cornix?
Well, in this situation, you're in a box. You probably can only fight him right now.
Is that the truth? Because remember, the goal has nothing to do with killing Cornix.
You can try juking around him to get to the other side.
All right, that's an option.
Try lining up and guiding him around until you get to the other side.
All right, yeah, I might try to stuff like that, right? You have a slogan. How would you get past Cornix? How would you attempt to get past Cornix in this scenario?
Run faster than him.
You can try to blitz past him anime style. I like that answer. Difficult, but hey, if you might see the moment. Shoot for it.
Speed set, cheat set.
Speed set is in fact cheat style. You are faster than them. It actually does not matter. one thing I also might try to do is I might think, man, if I have to fight him, I can't go nowhere now. I win, right? So all of those things go into your goal. So let's say my goal is to kill him. What are the modifiers of our fight?
Some modifiers are, on a broad sense, the rules of the game, how you can kill him.
All right, this is true. If I hit Cornix in the head, that is not a legal hit. That is a modifier. Your equipment is modifier. I have single sword. He has a single sword. What is that? Not a whole lot.
Sorry.
You're fine.
That was fair, yeah.
If I have longer reach than Cornix does, it changes how I approach this fight, does it not? Now I can be a little bit more dangerous than this. I might be pushing him back. That might be useful, right? He has longer range than me. Changes how I got to go about this, right? Even so far as having teammates changes how you fight. Blade Master Fox, you don't mind? If it's me and Fox, this changes things a lot. A lot, right? If the goal is just kill Cornix, I don't have to live through this. Alright? I can immediately run in and just get murdered and then have him die. He just has to die. Right? If the goal is to get past him, how many of us have to get past him? Alright, battle games are coming up after lunch. The goal is to make it to the other side. How many of us need to make it? Who in particular needs to make it? People had sashes earlier in the battle games. Those sashes gave you different powers. Fun fact, if you read the battle game rules, those sashes are the people who will be scoring points later in the game. Those are your important people. You might want to protect them. This is gone forever. So, those are particular things about that. So, building goals. We're going to start up from the beginning. Thank you, Fox. So let's just start with a basic scenario. You have to know what scenario you're in. We're in the tournament pit. Tournaments happened about an hour ago. Let's just start with a tournament fight. What tournament are we in? Let's just say it's... You got 2 spears? All right.
I have a spear right there.
Yeah, just go grab it. Thank you. So, we're all going to build a strategy together. We're going to wait for the helicopter so that we can build a strategy. So, what were the rules for the tournament earlier today?
Don't cheat.
That was one of them. Be specific. So, we all had to start in these corners back here. What does it mean? Why do you think you had to start in corners?
For fairness.
What makes it fair? What's the important thing about starting away from each other? Yeah, and you said control of the ground. That's one factor very few people take into account for this arena. It is actually pretty difficult for Cornix to maneuver if I take up this much of the arena. He tries to go left, I step here, he's stuck. You ever fought somebody that backs up a lot? Shit's annoying as fuck, isn't it? Alright, if you have an arena, you don't have to jump into the fight at them. You can just walk them down. Fun fact, against Vayne, it's a great idea. Vayne jumps around all the time, box Vayne out, alright? Vayne is a great example of somebody who will use distance to his advantage. Goodbye, Vayne. Box those people out. So, starting out, spear tournament. So, we're going to start here with Mongoose. Mongoose, what is the first thing you think about when going into a spear tournament with your opponent? Alright, that's a good factor. Your own personal, how high are you running, how low are you running? Alright, keep moving. So, you give me a second strategy to use based on everything you can see. We both have the same size spear. We have this arena here. Our goal is to kill each other. How will we go about doing it?
say be cognizant of what you know of the fighter. Just trying to be aware of what their skill is.
What if you know nothing other than what you can physically see about that person?
If their build is any different at all, trying to,
Any different from mine?
or any difference in ability that you can just maybe take off of the person. If their arms are longer, if their arms are legs, depending on what it is, trying to find a weak point in the build.
That's good. So what might you do with the Cornix tall and lanky?
Cornix is tall and lanky, trying to go distance to the faster. He's tall and lanky, he can't move his feet.
What's one important thing that comes with the goal of winning a fight in the tournament? Probably the most important thing.
You gotta win twice.
You gotta win twice. How do you win fighting? What do you have to do? What is the most important? Huh?
Don't die.
You have to hit your. Yeah, thank you. You have to live through the fight to be considered the winner. So, an important factor, an important thing is that I can't die. These are spears, so I can take 4 wounds technically and live. But if he kills me, I lose. We'll get into graceful losing here in a second. Sometimes losing is the goal, but we'll go into it.
What would you get into with the observational analysis?
Huh? So the observational analysis, the first thing you do is you look at your opponent. You start to build your goal from there. All right. I start to build my goal when they tell me, "Hey, hug and kiss the person and call lay on." I'm like, "All right, longer spear." Cornix is a better spear fighter than me, so I'm gonna try to do some weird shit. All right. I'm gonna try to make this fight uncomfortable. All right. Most spearmen don't like it when you are this close. When it comes to the battlefield out there, try getting this close to a spearman. See how often they freak the fuck out. All right. Mongoose and Cornix may be good spear fighters. Spears aren't good at this range by natural of them being 8+ feet long. All right, they're just not. Master spear fighter can fight you like this, and your sword will be a better tool for that fight than theirs. All right. So, new goal, new fight. Red swords. All right. So what's a new element that we've introduced into this fight? Oh yeah. Not stick swing, right? What's an important element that a lot of people forget in red sword fighting? A lot of people stab.
2 hands.
No. This is just as effective as this. As far as hitting them goes. It means the same. There's no armor here. Armor's a whole other factor we don't have to worry about. So now I can swing at them. Now I might be able to poke at them. Well, what's that one very important thing we have to do to win the tournament now?
Don't back.
Great. All right, two more people join us. Bring up weapons. I don't care which ones they are. There you go. So now we've introduced the factor of teammates. What's one important thing that is no longer necessary?
Not dying.
It's less important. I can die so long as they are alive at the end, and they're not. So if it comes down to the fight, and me and Fox kill each other, and then they kill Cornix, my team wins. Let's just say I walk up and I smoke Fox, and then I jump on Cornix and die. We can then win. I don't have to live through this anymore so long as they live. They don't have to live through this anymore so long as I live. You can be as wounded as you want as long as the team gets through it, right? So we're going to change the goal. The goal is now for us to get past, for one of us to get past to the orange side. How does this change our goal? So what's one thing we might want to take into account?
You don't have to kill them.
We don't got to kill them. We only one of us has to make it there. So one of us has to be alive. One of us has to jump to the other side. But the other person can sacrifice their life for the cause, right? What's another factor of only having to get past them? We don't have to kill them. If we can outmaneuver them in some fashion, let's say we have more space, let's say you have less space. Let's say I happen to catch a block and get close, and I just grab Fox here. It didn't have to die. We just had to make it across. There are so many tools that people have that they never think about because the goal is there. They just look at the person in front of them and say, we just gotta walk up and bang it out here. And I'm like, not really. You don't have to. So I'm gonna put people in some common scenarios that will be useful in the team tournaments especially and later. And I'll give you some of my thoughts on those things. So can I get 4 more people to join us in?
I knew someone was gonna need it.
Yeah, welcome to 4-man team tournament. These are common strategies. Just don't break my phone. That's all. So, and a lot of 4-man teams, especially at lower levels, people don't have any strats at all. All right, they're just like run in, start to swing. So what's some immediate factors about what the weapons people have immediately? What is the most important thing?
Range.
Yep, Mongoose has the longest range out there. We have no shields. So we just walk up to their team. Mongoose probably just gonna start poking at people until we die, right? So how do someone raise their hand? No matter who it is. How would you suggest we avoid all getting clapped out by Mongoose? Put him in.
To be honest, playing at the same range, if possible.
All right, getting another 8-foot stick. That should work. All right, now we all got sticks, right? And an added point to that is matching up your spearmen. If Cornix goes over there, and then we call Leon and all walk towards each other, Mongoose is still going to just stab. Like, chances are, those two just die out, and then we die out, and they get to fight each other eventually. So, if you think, hey, I want to be matching range, you might want to put your 8-foot up against their 8. What's another way we can avoid, so that we can avoid all getting stabbed to death by Mongoose?
Separating someone on your side, getting a shield.
That's, I don't have a shield right here at the moment, but yes, we can suddenly have shields. It would keep us from dying. Shields are actually the most broken piece of equipment in the game. That's a whole other class, all right? Everyone should have a shield. They're OP. Oh, what do you know, a shield? Suddenly, Leon gets called, and I can kind of like live longer, right? You get to go for it. I'm looking for a particular answer. What's one more way we can avoid all getting killed to death by Mongoose? If you think you can do it, like, it's not a bad option. Shoot me. Dog, crossbows exist. Blicky Mongoose right out this drum. The simplest answer that anybody can do, regardless of your team comp, is send people away from Mongoose. When Leon gets called, y'all walk that way, and I will sacrifice myself for the cause. So, when we split ourselves, your goals change ever so slightly, right? Our goal is to split to get as many people away from Mongoose as possible. So, y'all all split that way as we walk forward in mock fight, right? Just split that way. So, what do you think my goal is?
Stall Mongoose.
Oh yeah, if you think it's to kill Mongoose, that's crazy. My goal is to be threatening enough, right? So that if Mongoose looks at Fox, like if he points that spear, literally anything else, woohoo! Right? So hey, you gotta come, you gotta hope your team wins, right? That's one way to do it. Any team can do that. If you don't have a bow, if you don't have a longer weapon, because I don't know how spears, it depends how much is your spear, dog?
Over 100.
Yeah, spears are expensive. This stick is like $30 bucks. Alright? But everyone can do that. It is free to also stall Mongoose. In a perfect world, what I want is for my team to come this way, or to go that way, and then for me to draw Mongoose away from his team. And then maybe there's some nonsense like that happening. Suddenly it's not protected, right? So, let's say Mongoose does not have an 8-foot spear. No one has massive range advantage. We've all got There it is. Good enough.
Oh.
Secondary strategy for four-man team. You can split. Splitting is generally done. Actually, we'll boil this down to 2v2. So 4 people leave. Yep, that works. So, goal-oriented fighting. What do you think the goal of splitting does in team battles?
1v1s.
Not quite the answer.
Playing to individual
So,
strengths.
more closer to the answer. In this particular scenario, it forces a 1v1. It forces smaller engagements. If me and Fox split, and they don't, so, yeah, if me and Fox split, and they don't, they have no space, and fights get this close. Oh, yeah. Fox just hits them in the back. And then, once you're dead, I'm going to try to hit Equinox in the back. You know, taking the initiative of the fight is a part of the goal, right? The other strat is to rush a direction. All right? If you're like, man, I don't think we can take them in 1v1s. We ain't got it. 3, 2, 1, Leon gets called, or we just full rush Cornix. And I, you know, just try to make sure you don't get to fight as Fox takes Cornix. A part of your strategy is that you believe you can win your fight, but your teammate, you don't believe your teammate can win the fight. So you might be like, hey, we're gonna walk up to them, and you're just gonna throw your life away for like this person, and I'm gonna smoke them. And then I'm just gonna win the 1v1 afterwards. Alright? So in this scenario, what is your name? Moose. Fox throws his life away to kill Moose, and I'm boom! Guys, the Cornix, I'm like, cool, I'm Sir Badass Talon. I think I can take Cornix 1v1. Really weird, he has a red and I have a single blue, but I think I'm cool that day, right? Goals in the thing. We have terrain. Out in the field battle today, there's a lot of these blow-up things that get in people's way. If I say, hey, this is a movable terrain, you might think to use that. You can't swing over this. That's not how a fight works. So I might fight from here so that Moose might not be able to take place as Fox gets to push. Everything, every factor, your weapons, your reach, your experience, what you want in the fight, is so big. So that's team-based stuff. I'll go over a few single-based stuff, and then we'll call it there. So, all right, back to 1v1s. So it doesn't actually matter your gear. It doesn't actually matter what you have. Single's just the easiest way to do it. So obviously, I want to hit Fox and not die. Right? Goal, tournament, in this case, maybe even just to get past it. Maybe there's walls in the arena. I can't make it past them. Gotta fight. So I gotta get through it. Do I only have to make sure Fox dies, or do I have to live through it? If it's a battle game and I just need Fox removed, I might be like, you know what? I think it's okay for me to die here. I think the rest of my team's got it. I have fought Fox in tournaments, and we've all been like, hey, if Fox dies, we win. So we all threw javelins at him at the time. But if I walk up and I'm like, hey, Fox is too good. We don't want to have to deal with him. Suicide attack. So we both die, but then my teammate gets through. Win. If Fox arms me in a tournament, and I don't think I can win from him, sometimes it's okay to lose. Just make sure they do too. All right? So Fox might be going for literally anything. It's important for him to live through this now. His life is like, no, I've got the advantage. I can take a wound somewhere. I'm like, that's dope. As we go through this, all right, we reset. I don't have to worry about it no more. Red fighters do it all the time in tournaments. Single blue fighters in tournaments. Florentine fighters, it's probably the most known to man. You lose an arm and you're just like, well, I'm throwing for body. I don't care anymore. All right, as long as I can get this close. All right, well, do it again. Tournament thing all the time. Yes, I lost. However, I'm not out of the fight. Sometimes you want that. If your opponent is more mobile than you, how might you take the mobility away? You'd like them. It's like, man, Fox's footwork is too good. I don't want to deal with it no more. Sit down. Sit here and fight. What if you think your opponent's too good at blocking? You're like, man, no matter what Fox does, super good defense. How might you counter super good defense? I know. I hate it.
Probably initially I'd try to power through the defense.
All
If
right.
that doesn't work, I'd move around to find an opening.
All right.
Or
I'm small and dainty. I ain't powering through nobody's defense. But if you have the physical side, Fox can power through my defense. And I'm like, here's some bitch ass blocks. Oh fuck, like. But subverting people may be more something I can do. Fox is too good. I might want to step this way. Oh, that didn't work. Damn, he still got the blocks when I move. Maybe I throw like 3 shots. Maybe I throw a fake. Anyone ever took a feints and baits class? Goal-oriented fighting? This shot doesn't have to be the one that hits him. As long as one of them does. But I think, man, Fox is such a good right-handed fighter. How might I avoid fighting him right-handed?
Get his right arm.
Oh yeah, take that shit away from him.
Take it.
How do we take arms away?
Hit him in the arm.
That's one way to do it. Another way that's legal in Bellegarde, not amp guard, don't do it there, is if I... Alright, Fox is stronger than me. But he ain't that much stronger than me, alright? He's that great. You're gonna take your arm away right now. Not before I can hit him, though. So, these are all things you can do. And you're like, Talon, that grapple move seems so crazy mid-tournament. You tried it?
oh no.
Not impossible.
No,
You
I
don't
will
have
now.
to literally grasp their arm. You only really need to do this. If I only need his arm to go away for a moment, I might even need to grapple. I might just need to hit the arm. Alright? Taking the arm away could, like I said earlier, a fake. If I throw up here, he has to catch something. You know, if I get him dancing around, he's not worried about hitting me no more. He's worried about not getting hit. The biggest thing that I want to impart to you, be thoughtful of not only your surroundings in the fight, but the different factors of the fight, and use that to build a goal. No, this doesn't have to be super complex. Like, oh, I need to walk up, fake this way, do that way. No. The easiest way to do it is to be like, all right, I want to kill Fox. Looks like he's got a strong defense, so I'm gonna like fight out of range, see how it goes, and then change, and then add to it. All right, let's maybe got a. All right, cool. He doesn't press when I move forward. All right, that's fine. All right, cool. New backwards. Walk over here. He ain't going nowhere. Take a second, figure it out if you got time. The more you do stuff like this, the more easier the goal becomes. So, the important things. What is the big goal? How to win?
Don't die.
Don't die, important.
Stay
But
alive.
what is the actual goal to winning? So we do have to live through it. But is the goal to kill my opponent? Is my goal to ring the bell of the battle game? Is my goal to steal the items from the thing? What is the overall goal of the game itself? We use that to build a goal. Oftentimes living through it is nice. Sometimes you don't got to. Sometimes your team needs to get through it. All right, you will be remembered in the memorial. Use those small things to build up your goal, and don't feel bad about changing it. All right, if you walk up and I'm like, man, I'm gonna leg Fox, and I whip that bitch because his footwork's too good to chase goals. Like, yeah. Like, all right, that ain't working. Let's find something else. And you're also not wrong to reinforce plan A. You might think, oh no, it worked, but I just fucked it up. Sometimes the plan was good, you just slipped. Plan wasn't bad. Next time, don't slip. Wear better shoes. Thank you for coming to my class. Woo! If you have any other questions and stuff like that, I will be here to do things and stuff. Woo! All right, cool. I caught it on camera. That's the important part.